hopefully you fasten your seatbelts for the next 2 hours.
Right.
That's nonsense, Clint. I'm not buying it. I'm sorry.
I don't care what you buy.
That's
just
nonsense.
My feeling.
You're not just buying a racetrack. You're buying a piece of American racing history right there. I mean, that's huge. The history behind the track, just mind-boggling.
You hear a lot of rumors in the rumor mill. I'll just keep tuning in to you guys to hear the truth when it comes down to it. So
don't do that. I've already had one dose of tin hat syndrome today. I don't need a second one.
Stuart Friesen said to Brett, he says, "Why don't you bring us to more places like this?" And Brett goes, "There isn't any other place like this."
Race fans, it's time to throw it up on the cushion and get dirty. Coming to you live from the Finger Lakes and Southern Tier, it's time for Turn 5 Live. Now, your hosts of Turn 5 Live, Steve Ovens, Clint Miller, and Brad Ovens.
All fired up, race fans. Broad sliding off of Turn 4, ready to drop the hammer on this week's episode of Turn 5 Live here on the Performance Motorsports Network. Stephen and Brad Ovens, Clint Miller joining you on the program here tonight. And gentlemen, we've got a ton of interviews from Motorsports Expo to share with everybody tonight. And I'll tell you what, we've got a lot of good things to talk about. Brad Ovens, I'll start with you first. You tried to break the internet this afternoon, putting up a nice preview video of all the work that's been going on over at the Outlaw Speedway. Why don't you start there and tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, Stephen, I've gone over every day that I've had the chance. Felt of some recent illness over the weekend, so I didn't get to go over like I wanted to. But when I did get over there today, the track surface is looking great. All the rain that we had, the track was still nice and hard. I mean, you could have driven a car out on it. There were some talks of wanting to try and get a race car out there to see how the surface would hold up, and I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not. But the track's really looking good over there. There are some areas that there's still some rocks that are getting picked out, which we knew where we're gonna start with, but everything's going smoothly. The kitchens are now getting cleaned out. All the old equipment's getting taken out. New equipment's getting brought in. Stuff's getting cleaned. Getting ready for the inspection for the servicing of the food there, and getting ready for April 22nd.
Yeah, I stopped there myself today, actually. Got a chance to talk with Kirk, who's going to be running the concession stand from K&B Catering, and Tyler was over there as well, along with Robbie Conklin. And stop and talk to those guys. Tyler's got a lot of things happening even this week and the following week at the track. Anybody that is familiar with the layout at Outlaw Speedway, all of the areas where you drive in and park and things of that nature, all of the grass area in the parking lot will remain a grass area, but all the driveways are all going to be stoned and have some oil compound laid over top of them. The driveways, not going to have the potholes, not going to have the water, not going to have any of that anymore. He's really, really shaking the box up there at Outlaw Speedway, and I'll tell you what, it's really exciting to think about all the things that are happening, not only all the driveways, but also in talking to Tyler today, he's got a contractor coming over in the next week or two to do some siding on all the buildings. And I'll tell you what, he's really given this place the jolt of energy it needed in order to kind of bring this place back to life, a new era. We put the hashtag on a lot of the posts, new era, new attitude. And I'll tell you what, Clint Miller, that's exactly what we're seeing so far.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've been following, all of Brad's posts and, the talking with Tyler that you've done. And, as we've stated, many, many times before, Outlaw Speedway is my home. I've been there since I was 2 weeks old. And, to see where it was, where it got to, where it went, where it lost its luster for a while, to now see this is just, it really warms my racing heart, because, there was a lot of speculation as to which way Black Rock Speedway at the time was going, and it wasn't a good place to be, and now Tyler Siri and Outlaw Speedway have really got people talking all over the internet again about the place to be on Friday nights.
Talking about Tyler Siri and Outlaw Speedway, we've got an interview with him from Motorsports Expo this weekend. Also, reminder at 7 in our second segment tonight, Eddie McKernan from the Hill Speedway, promoter there, will join us. And then we've got all the interviews that we have from Motorsports Expo this weekend. We caught up with Tyler Siri at the Outlaw Speedway booth, and this is what Tyler had to say about the 2016 season. Making our way around Motorsports Expo and stopped over to the Outlaw Speedway booth here. Tyler Siri and the crew talking to folks here as they come through. Well, day one almost in the books here. How's everything going so far?
Yeah, it's been going really good. Just an awesome response from racers and fans and everybody in general there. They just, everybody's really pumped up like we are. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. The excitement level has been great from the fan base. You guys have been doing some work on the surface, and from what we can tell from the pictures that everybody's been taking a look at, everybody seems to be pretty pleased with it.
Yeah, everybody's excited. They've been seeing your stuff on Turn 5, and it's we've been lucky to have the great weather that we've had.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of work done on the racetrack. It's ready to go now. I mean, we can race tomorrow on it. We got clay in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and so the stuff I wanted to do 4 or 5 races into the season, we got to get done now, which has been huge. And we're doing a lot of improvements up there already, and things are looking great.
Usually this time of year we're still cussing Mother Nature, but she's been pretty good to us this winter.
Oh yeah, you can't beat this. It's a huge help for us for sure.
What has been, some of the questions people have been asking you guys today? I mean, everybody's real excited about the new deal here with Outlaw, but what are some of the things that people have been passing through here today?
Well, the funny thing is everybody's been following us really closely on Facebook and on your website and stuff, and Turn 5. And it's just been, everybody knows before they get here, they already see everything, you know what I mean? And that's what they're all talking about. Hey, we see you doing this, we see you doing that, Everybody just can't wait for April 15th, for practice, and then the opener on the 22nd.
Some of the things that have come out in the last couple of weeks, of course, the deal with Sunoco, such a big deal for the next 5 years at the track. That's big.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, we're so excited to be part of, Sunoco on board with us, and they're very excited to be a part of, Outlaw Speedway, and so that's real exciting, and for them to do the Sunoco Outlaw Challenge for the modified drivers is. Man, that's just awesome. I mean, where can you go win 3 races and get $25,000 on top of what you won?
Absolutely.
And there's a bonus as well for if you hit 2 out of 3, which is great. And all you got to do is just be a weekly driver, and you're eligible to get it. And but that just says a lot about people want to get involved with the Speedway. All the sponsors that we've been talking to and getting a hold of, and that's exciting.
I imagine some of the excitement here this weekend has probably been centered around that bonus too.
Yeah, a lot of guys have been talking about that bonus thing, and that's just unheard of. You don't see that out there today, and for the money you spend in these cars and the time it takes to do them, and and not just the bonus, but each one of those shows pays over $3,000 to win. So there's $9,000 plus $25,000. I mean, you're talking $34,000 to win 3 modified races.
That changes your year.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's just unbelievable. You know what I mean? And we're so excited that we can pass that on to the racer.
Yeah. I was talking to Matt and Mel Thomas down the way. They're getting ready to do some work there as well.
Yeah, next weekend they're going to start doing the deal with all the VIP booths, with all the new HD cable. We'll have the TVs in the booths now. You're announcing, we'll go right through them now.
Yeah.
The concession stands will have TVs again on them, so you can watch at the concessions, and it's just a lot of cool stuff happening.
To some, that might seem like while they're putting some TVs in, maybe that's not a huge thing, but it's all part of the fan experience, so that is a big deal.
Yeah, every little thing that we're doing is going to add up to be where people want to come and they want to be involved with the racetrack, and they're going to have a great experience while they're there. You know what I mean? We're doing all these little things so people can enjoy themselves and want to come back every week.
Right. First show, April 22nd. Starting off with a bang. Got the Empire Super Sprints coming.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge opener for us. Everybody's excited to come there for one, but to put a show like that together with the ESS on there, and 3,000 for the modifieds, and a Grit Sportsman Series race, and just everybody else that's coming with the 4-cylinders, the street stocks, and the late model class, IMCA. I mean, it's just going to be a huge night for everybody that supports the Speedway, and the fans are just ecstatic. Can't wait for Friday the 22nd.
As a new track owner, new promoter, I mean, you want to come out, you want to make a big splash at the beginning.
Yeah, you do. You know what I mean? We want to show people what we're about, what we're going to do, and what kind of program we're offering the Speedway. You know what I mean? It's exciting. The schedule is very aggressive throughout the year. So, and that's what I wanted to do. So, people can call that their home Friday night track, and every week there's something really cool going on, and it's going to be exciting for everybody.
Going to be the place to be on Friday nights.
Absolutely.
OutlawSpeedwayLLC.com for all the information. In case you didn't get out to the show this weekend to grab your schedule, the schedule is all posted there online. And again, practice session April 15th. First show with the Grit Sportsman, $3,000 kickoff for the modifieds, and the Empire Super Sprints Friday, April 22nd. Outlaw Speedway, where it's going to be. So that's Tyler Siri and his thoughts from this past weekend out at Motorsports Expo 2016. Everybody really looking forward to the opener. Again, Friday, April 22nd. Lucas Oil Empire Super Sprints will be in town. $3,000 to win modified kickoff for their season. As far as I know, I still got to check on the crate late models because I know the Rush Series has an event on that date. So I don't know that the crate late models, that might be show up points or no points at all. I do need to check on that. Everybody else, though, will be starting points that night, including the modifieds, which is $3,000 to win. We got to hit a break here. On the other side, we'll talk to Eddie McKernan from the Hill Speedway, otherwise previously known as Dunn Hill. We'll talk to him about all the work they're doing at the Hill for 2016 next on Turn 5 Live here on the Performance Motorsports Network, the voice of motorsports.
We're growing like crazy and need account reps who know their way around agencies, the internet, and social media. Got connections? Or do you know how to get to the decision makers? Are you fearless? We need you. Internet radio, or as we call it, wireless mobile radio, is rapidly becoming the place to be with almost limitless income potential. So contact us to get involved with the fastest growing professionally produced group of internet radio stations in the world. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444. That's 717-749-0444. Or you can email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com. You want to ask for Sue.
Okay, so Sarah, I'm dropping you off at Emily's?
Yep.
And Josh, you're going to?
Soccer, Dad. Soccer practice.
Right. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to let you know when I pick you both up, I'll be wearing my short shorts.
What? No!
Yep, and my dorky dad hat, and I'm going to do my dad dance for all your friends. They'll love it!
Seriously? Why?
Because I like my short shorts. Of course, I could be talked out of it if you guys would just buckle up your seatbelts without giving me a hard time.
It's important to get your kids to buckle up for safety, no matter what it takes. And sometimes, all it takes is your parental powers of persuasion.
Okay, we're buckling up. See, all buckled.
Good choice. I'll just have to do my dad dance at dinner time.
What?
No!
Do what you have to make sure your kids are wearing their seatbelts, even on short drives. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.
Creekside Entertainment is the official DJ, photo booth, and uplighting company of Turn 5 Live and the Performance Motorsports Network. Stuart Ovens and his staff at Creekside Entertainment are professional and experienced with events of any type. Creekside Entertainment specializes in wedding packages that are affordable and fun, and they are ready to serve you with the most up-to-date music and karaoke selection. If you can sing it in the shower, you can come out and sing it with Creekside Entertainment. And don't forget about the Creekside Entertainment photo booth and uplighting service that will transform your wedding or party into an event the family will be talking about for years. Trust, the entertainment company that racers trust. Call Stu at area code 315-481-9700 or visit them online at creeksideentertainmentdj.com. You can also find them on Facebook and Twitter. Creekside Entertainment, division sponsor of the Black Rock Bandits in 2015.
Hi race fans, this is Kelly Hebing and you're listening to Turn 5 Live on PMN.
Welcome back, race fans, to Turn 5 Live here on the Performance Motorsports Network. The Little Cobra, Kelly Hebing, bringing us back from commercial break. We'll be hearing from her a little bit later on in the program. But first up tonight, we're going off to the hotline to bring in the promoter of the Hill Speedway, formerly known as Dunn Hill, and that is none other than Eddie McKernan. Eddie, thanks for joining us on the show tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let's get right to it. I know there's a lot of new things happening there at the Hill. You guys have had quite a busy off season. Tell us about how this all came together to take over the Hill.
Well, we've been in the process of trying to buy the property for years, and my cousin ended up buying it and leasing it from him. We growed up right there and growed up around it, and we'd like to bring short track dirt racing back to northeastern Pennsylvania and the southern tier.
I've talked to a few drivers that attended your guys' informational meeting, and a lot of positivity and a lot of folks looking forward to racing at the Hill this year. Give us a little rundown of the divisions you guys will be racing this year.
Unfortunately, we didn't get IMCA sanctioned, so we're going to run an IMCA style class. Street stocks and pure stock, 4-cylinder rear-wheel drives and 4-cylinder front-wheel drive division for the season.
You talk about the IMCA sanction. What goes into that? I'm not familiar with the process, but what all goes into trying to get a sanction there?
Well, that's basically up to IMCA. They kind of regulate this isn't a large region, but they try to keep it fair to the track promoters that have it. Basically, the main thing is that they classify us as a first-year track, and because of that, they don't sanction first-year tracks. I mean, the track was previously IMCA sanctioned, but it's been closed for 2 years, so we're hoping and yet to get sanctioned this year if we can draw enough IMCA-style cars, and if not this year, hopefully for next year, because basically it's for our local IMCA drivers, it's quite a haul to the nearest track, to compete on the weekends.
Gotcha. And from my understanding, I think that you guys will have some success there with the IMCA style cars, because there's a lot of cars down in your guys' neck of the woods that IMCA car is pretty popular. We're going to step aside here. We're having a small technical issue here. When we come back, we'll have more with Eddie McKernan, and we will be right back to this Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network, the voice of motorsports.
Max Dairy Bar is a proud supporter of Turn 5 Live and the Performance Motorsports Network. Opened in 1974, Max Dairy Bar has been a Penn Yan, Cayuga Lake, and Yates County staple, serving the best Hershey's hard ice cream. They also have soft serve ice cream, their weekly yogurt special, sorbet flavors, gluten-free options, frozen Greek yogurt, and non-dairy lemon ice. Don't forget about their tricky 18-hole putt-putt course that will test your skill to see if you have what it takes to be a champion. Max Dairy Bar and Mini Golf, located on State Route 14A, just south of the village of Penn Yan, right on the way to Black Rock Speedway on Friday nights. Visit them online at www.maxdairybar.com or Max Dairy Bar on Facebook and Twitter. Stop by Max Dairy Bar and tell them Turn 5 Live sent you.
We're growing like crazy and need account reps who know their way around agencies, the internet, and social media. Got connections? Or do you know how to get to the decision makers? Are you fearless? We need you. Internet radio, or as we call it, wireless mobile radio, is rapidly becoming the place to be with almost limitless income potential. So contact us to get involved with the fastest growing professionally produced group of internet radio stations in the world. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444. That's 717-749-0444. Or you can email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com. You want to ask for Sue.
Creekside Entertainment is the official DJ, photo booth, and uplighting company of Turn 5 Live and the Performance Motorsports Network. Stuart Ovens and his staff at Creekside Entertainment are professional and experienced with events of any type. Creekside Entertainment specializes in wedding packages that are affordable and fun, and they are ready to serve you with the most up-to-date music and karaoke selection. If you can sing it in the shower, you can come out and sing it with Creekside Entertainment. And don't forget about the Creekside Entertainment photo booth and uplighting service that will transform your wedding or party into an event the family will be talking about for years. Trust the entertainment company that racers trust. Call Stu at area code 315-481-9700 or visit them online at creeksideentertainmentdj.com. You can also find them on Facebook and Twitter. Creekside Entertainment, division sponsor of the Black Rock Bandits in 2015.
Hi, race fans. This is Nick Cooper, and you're listening to Turn 5 Live on PMN.
All right, race fans, welcome back. I think we got our technical issue figured out there. Good work to Barry working behind the glass for us tonight. Down in the PMN studios in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, we were talking to Eddie McKernan from the Hill Speedway as they're set to reopen after sitting idle for the past 2 seasons. He told us a little bit about some of the divisions that they're going to be running there this season. Brad, I'll go to you first here. We were talking to him about, the IMCA sanction, and I don't know. I think his call also dropped off in the process here, so I'm not sure if we're going to be able to continue on. I don't know if he was having some cellular issues on his phone, but Brad, we talk about that IMCA sanction, and that was something that I wasn't really aware of. I last year was kind of a learning experience with me for the IMCA modifieds and how their sanction works. So, interesting to find out that, there's a first year track rule with getting a sanction.
Yeah, and I've also heard that the IMCA sanction in specific regions won't sanction more than 2 tracks on one specific night, which I know our region has, obviously here at Outlaw in Dundee and then 88 Speedway. So I don't know if that's going to potentially cause an issue or if they would sanction a 3rd track. I think it would be a good move to sanction a 3rd track for the Hill Speedway, as they do have so many cars down that way. But it's kind of one of those things that IMCA, if every track was sanctioned IMCA, I think it would kind of minimize their amount of competition just for the fact that, 8 guys could get first place points if there were 8 tracks sanctioned on one night. So I can see why IMCA does it, but I'm not 110% sure on exactly all their policies and procedures, as there are a lot of them.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that division this season at Outlaw Speedway, because that was one question that I've had during this off season with the Hill Speedway firing up again with new ownership and a new promoter, is how would that affect the IMCA division across all the Friday night tracks. So I think that and I've said this before, and I know there's some people that get a little fired up when I bring it up, but a lot of our cars that run at Outlaw on Friday nights, a lot of those cars come from that neck of the woods, northern Pennsylvania. So it just, it makes you sit back and wonder, if they get a sanction next year, how that will play out. For a track like Outlaw, where a lot of the competitors are coming from that area, because let's be honest, guys, it just comes down to economics. If I can race 15 minutes away versus driving an hour and a half away, to go racing on a Friday night, where are we going to go? You're going to go what place is closer, especially if they're both sanctioned. That just makes sense.
And I kind of think that's probably going to fall back to, if there really is a 2-track sanction limit, which I know I've heard get tossed around a lot. If Outlaw doesn't give up their IMCA sanction, then, you're looking at either ID8's going to have to give up their sanction, or I don't really see how, I could be completely wrong in this, but, from what we've heard and from what we've had IMCA drivers tell us and IMCA affiliates, there's only 2 sanctioned tracks per region, and I guess in our region, Outlaw is one of them and ID8's the other, so it's going to be interesting to see if they can get a sanction, and then if they do get a sanction, like you said, it will be interesting to see what it does to the car counts.
Now, Brad, would even being in Pennsylvania, would that be still considered our region? I mean, because it's within 2 hours or 3 hours of us?
Yeah, I believe IMCA does their sanctioning by region, which would say, ID8 and Outlaw are within so far of a distance of each other. So I think they take the closest track to the track that wants to get sanctioned, and if you're within a certain time range of travel, I think is how they determine on whether or not they'll sanction your track is from what I've been told in the past.
Well, we'll see how that all plays out. We're going to go from one sanctioning series to another. We're going to turn our attention now to the Patriot Sprint Tour, which will be making their way out to Outlaw Speedway on May 6th, which is a Friday night. They'll then go to Canandaigua Motorsports Park on Saturday, May 7th, and then the following Saturday, May 14th, they'll be at the Woodhall Raceway. So there's going to be a lot of Patriot Sprint Tour dates in our region here coming up, and that's not to mention the first American Series event, which takes place on May 1st at the 5 Mile Point Speedway. So make it a point to get to the point on Sunday, May 1st, as the Patriot Sprint Tour will be in town there. And I'll tell you guys, that's going to be a stretch there. 3 races in 7 days for the Patriot Sprint Tour to kick off the American Series. If that isn't America, I don't know what is. We caught up with...
It's going to be like Spring Speed Weeks.
Yeah, exactly. What a way to kick it off. And we talked to Mike Emhof at Motorsports Expo, got his thoughts on the upcoming season and the schedule, and here was what Mike had to say when we caught up with him in Syracuse. Making our way around Motorsports Expo here in Syracuse. Going to stop and talk to Mike Emhof from the Patriot Sprint Tour. We'll talk to Greg from CRSA here in just a moment. But Mike, from what I understand, I just got here this afternoon, but sounds like it's been a great turnout at Expo this year.
It's been steady the entire day, all the time, from 10 o'clock when they opened the door until right now when we're standing here talking at, 6, 7 o'clock. So it's been steady and a good turnout of people. So really pleased with the whole show overall.
Absolutely. Before we get into the schedules and things, you guys are going to be awfully busy this year.
Well, awfully busy is a good thing. You know, when you got a race series and race cars, they want to go racing. Mm-hmm. So, it's an aggressive schedule, and but it's a good schedule. It's a blue collar racer schedule. So, where we need to go distance, we put a couple races together. If it's close to home and we can get back to the shop, there may be just one race and give the guys a break. So that's what we try to do with the Patriot Sprint Tour.
And as far as your portfolio as a whole, how big was it to add the CRSA Tour?
Oh, I'm real pleased with that situation on a businessman standpoint. As you know, we have a parts business, of course, but it's a good stepping stone. I still own Central New York Mini Sprints, but it's been shelved for several years, and it's a good transition from 305s into 360s. It's the same car, a little bit different horsepower situation, but they'll be familiar with things. So business-wise, I thought it was a good move. We can control growth a little bit, I'll put it that way, and expand some growth in some areas. So I'm really pleased with the addition of the CRSA with the 305 program. And like I said, it gives guys a great stepping stone into our Patriot Sprint Tour events also.
What's the feedback from the 305 drivers been so far?
Oh, this has been tremendous. I can't say enough about the warm reception that I've had so far. And, Mike and Debbie Van Dusen have done a great job over the last 5 years, and they've got a good running series here, and that was one of the reasons it was an easy transition for me to take a look at. So, the overall reception and the overall welcoming from all of the teams, there's been nothing negative, and it just makes me feel real good.
Taking a look at the Patriot Sprint Tour schedule here. Again, American Series, Canadian Series. Let's go over some of the highlights. You guys are going to be opening up the Canadian Series in just a little over a month now at Merrittville.
Yeah, we kick off. We've done that the past several years with the Bicknell and Williamson family up there at Merrittville, and so their Spring Sizzler program will be April 23rd, and we kick off that Canadian Tour. A week later, we'll visit Andrew Harpell's 5 Mile Point Speedway, which has some history with the Patriots, but the last time was 2005. He had 360, wow. So we're pretty excited by that one with Andrew.
Yeah, and that starts a stretch for you guys of 3 races in 7 days. So, but when you look at that schedule, 5 Mile Point, Outlaw Speedway, Canandaigua Motorsports Park, I mean, these are all staples.
Yeah, very much so. A lot of history on our tour. Been with these facilities for many years now. This being, I guess, my 11th year with a 360 program. So we're real pleased, and to work with Tyler at Outlaw. We're pretty pleased with that, and Jeremy Corcoran having us back at Canandaigua Motorsports Park, back to back, like I talked about. We get 2 shows right there together. It gives the fans great places to be, and the drivers can reap some benefit, pick up a couple purses for not very much travel time. So we work with that as much as we can.
Let's take a look at some of the other highlights from your perspective here.
Well, the first time, we always go to the High Banks at Woodhull, which will be the following week. Teddy White's been great to work with over the years. We'll have 2 shows there this year, as you well know.
I do.
And for the first time in many, many years, we're going to get an opportunity to go east again. We raced at Albany, Saratoga many years ago when the Richards family owned it. So we're really excited to be back there with Lyle and Howie at Albany, Saratoga. And the very next night, we're going to go to a place that holds a ton of history for myself as well, the Fonda Speedway. So this will be the first time ever that the Patriots will be in the Fonda. So that's a big weekend for us. It's Memorial Day weekend, and we're real excited about going east a little bit and having some fun.
And as you talked about before, the key there being these guys getting 2 races out there in the Capital District in one weekend.
Certainly, and a hotel room or a toter stay is a lot cheaper than diesel fuel running 300 miles across the state of New York. So we have to take a look at that and make it beneficial to these teams. They're out there, pounding the highways and putting on a show for the fans, which, we all know without the fans we don't have anything, but we want to bring them enough cars that puts on a great show. So when we piece these things together, there's a lot of thought that goes into the Patriot schedule.
A track on here that I've never been to personally, but I don't think that we talk about enough is your guys' trip to Ohio to Raceway 7. Tell us a little bit about Raceway 7 for the folks that have never been there.
Great race place, 7/16 mile track. It's long, it's fast, and it's racy. The fans there are typically Fender car fans, but we give them a different flavor on once a year, and they just come out in droves. They pack the place in. We put on a really great show. I mean, the speeds are tremendous. The guys love the track. We've had some great racing there over the past 2-3 years, and it's really worked out real well. We moved this weekend this year, and we backed them up with State Line Speedway this year, a little bit different than we've done in the past. So we're actually coming back toward home just a little bit this time around, and working with the new owners out at State Line. But Raceway 7, I mean, the guys that have been there have really liked it, and there's a lot more guys that are interested in coming. So I think you're going to see that tend to grow with us, maybe in the future even into a 2-race type program in the season.
And you talk about, working with the promoters there at Raceway 7. It's a win-win for you guys and for them, being that they're, typically a full fender type of track. But to bring you guys in for that special kind of show, that's a win-win for everybody.
Oh, certainly. And not only that, a longtime supporter of the Patriot Sprint Tour and myself, Scott Bonnell, with his Bonnell Auto Group and Collision Centers, he supports those programs out there for them, and the fan base is pretty tremendous out there, and we always have Scott there in a VIP type capacity, and he really enjoys seeing the Patriots get out to the West. So those shows really mean a lot to us out there with one of our marketing partners, and it adds up real well. So we're real pleased with that, the programs out there. We get a chance to get out to Mercer in the middle of the year. We have a little mini speed week that we put together. We'll go on to the long track, the old fairground track of Little Valley, and the guys have, that's one of those tracks that it's maybe not typical sprint car track, but it's turned out to be just one heck of a race for us.
Sure.
And the guys love going there. So we're going to do a Friday night at Little Valley during Independence Day weekend, move on Saturday night over to Mercer for a 3,000 to win program, and then come back to a track that we've worked with for many years now with Bobby Rohr's Erez Speedway right there in Erie, Pennsylvania. And you talk about great racing, Sam Reeks, my champion, doubled up last year on that weekend with a state line and an Erie win. So he's really looking forward to it, and I know a lot of the other teams looking forward to that 3-race weekend out there.
And then, as we typically see toward the end of the season, all sorts of challenge races and big money shows for these guys to cap the year off with.
Well, that's what it's about, and that's the way I try to run a program, where we can get our points basically in and set, and we're close to crowning a champion near that Labor Day weekend. And from that point, let's make it a month of money and run the big races, run the challenge events. So starting Labor Day, we're actually on a 3-series challenge at Brewerton on Friday night, September 2nd this year. Corey Reed reached out to me, and it's actually going to be the true 3-race series challenge with the Patriot Sprints, URC, and Empire Super Sprints, all 3 at Brewerton on that Friday night, which should be really exciting. One of the only times that goes on, so we're happy about that. And then on top of that, you talk about the big money races, some challenge races. Tyler Siri at Outlaw on September 23rd on a Friday night. We've got a URC Patriot Sprint Tour Challenge. That's going to be $5,000 to win, $400 to start. Really exciting for the guys to finally get a purse structure put together. Tyler is just, there's a lot of juice flowing there. He's excited by this. We want to bring back a 2-day program and similar to the old Bully Hill weekend, where we work a Friday night, we do passing or we do points type programs, getting us into the Saturday program. We are working with him to try and bring that back for a 2-day program for all the 360 sprints to run on, and I'm excited by that. The very next night, some more history right back at Fonda Speedway with Pete Demitrazic. We have a Kramer Williamson $3,073 for the Pink Panther Memorial Race. So we're really looking forward to that, and his family's going to be there, and so that's exciting for us to challenge the URC and for that event. So a lot of great things on the schedule, and I'm really happy with it.
Well, I'll tell you, you guys got a lot of momentum, a lot of things to talk about. Appreciate the time talking about it here this afternoon, and won't be too long. We'll see you. I'll be seeing you at Outlaw and at Woodhall, so looking forward to it.
Very soon, Steve. We are looking forward to it, and we get a chance to work with you in several places this year, and so we look forward to it. Just can't wait to we got 4, 5, 6 weeks, and we're going to be racing. So so the fans can take a look, take a listen, go to patriotsprinttour.com. I've got plenty of schedules. If somebody wants one, we can get them out, but we got another day here at the Motorsports Expo, so come on out, enjoy.
All right. Mike Emhof from the Patriot Sprint Tour getting ready to go here for the 2016 season. Very exciting schedule. PatriotSprintTour.com. You can take a look at all the good dates they've got coming up for this season.
A lot of, and I'll use Mike's terminology here, boys, a lot of positive juices flowing when he was talking about the Patriot Sprint Tour for 2016. They've got a great schedule on tap again, the American Series, along with the Canadian Series. They've got that, a lot of local shows coming up here. So anybody that's listening in tonight, a lot of local shows. May 1st at 5 Mile Point Speedway, a Sunday afternoon event, followed up by a Friday, May 6th at the Outlaw Speedway in Dundee. Then the next night they go to Canandaigua Motorsports Park on May 7th for a Saturday night show there. And then the following Saturday they'll be down on the high banks of the Woodhall Raceway, the New York's toughest bull ring, for their annual spring show on the high banks of Woodhall. So PatriotSprintTour.com is where you can get all of the information for the PST, the 360 Sprinters. When we come back on the other side of this break, guys, we're going to talk to Greg Hixson, who is the new director of the CRSA 305 Sprint Tour, which is now falling under the umbrella of Mike Emhof Motorsports and the Patriot Sprint Tour in that portfolio there. So we're going to talk to Greg. We'll talk to Kelly Hebing. We got interviews with Frank Guererri Jr. on tap tonight, Andy Harpell, Carol Houssock from Chemung Speedrome, and Dan Harpell from the Penn Can Speedway. Got a lot of good stuff on tap tonight, folks. Stay tuned. You're listening to Turn 5 Live on PMN, the Performance Motorsports Network, the voice for motorsports.
Parents, your son or daughter has had their license for a while now, but you want to make sure they're prepared for any situation they may face on the road. High school driver's ed doesn't teach them to drive defensively. They need to be prepared for any highway emergency. For less than a month's insurance, and a whole lot less, BSR instructors at Summit Point Motorsports Park in nearby Summit Point, West Virginia, will teach your son or daughter how to respond instantly and positively to unexpected situations on the road. BSR's specialized accident avoidance training teaches swerve to avoid maneuvers at highway speed, ocular driving, which focuses driving attention on ways to avoid accidents, vehicle dynamics and feedback, skid control and skid recovery, threshold braking on straights and progressive braking on curves, and off-road recovery techniques. This is stuff driver's ed simply doesn't teach. So call BSR today, 304-725-8444. Give your kid the skill set needed to drive safely and responsibly on the highway. That's 304-725-8444.
So when you get to the corner of Smith and Orchard, you're going to want to take a left.
You are not going to
then
believe
what you're
this.
going to do is turn
Marcy
onto Marcy
and Brad
Avenue
just broke up,
and go past
and apparently
the first
she's
three lights,
happy
and
about
then take
it.
the next left.
I don't really
Then
think
drive
she's
5 more
happy,
blocks,
but
and you should be
who am
there.
I to judge, right?
Park
anyway,
on the right.
That's
I'll
what
see
I
you
heard
later
last
tonight.
night.
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Creekside Entertainment is the official DJ, photo booth, and uplighting company of Turn 5 Live and the Performance Motorsports Network. Stuart Ovens and his staff at Creekside Entertainment are professional and experienced with events of any type. Creekside Entertainment specializes in wedding packages that are affordable and fun, and they are ready to serve you with the most up-to-date music and karaoke selection. If you can sing it in the shower, you can come out and sing it with Creekside Entertainment. And don't forget about the Creekside Entertainment photo booth and uplighting service that will transform your wedding or party into an event the family will be talking about for years. Trust, the entertainment company that racers trust. Call Stu at area code 315-481-9700 or visit them online at creeksideentertainmentdj.com. You can also find them on Facebook and Twitter. Creekside Entertainment, division sponsor of the Black Rock Bandits in 2015.
Hi race fans, this is the voice, Shane Andrews of the Big Block Modified Super Dirt Car Series, and you're listening to Turn 5 Live on PMN.
Oh, Shane Andrews bringing us back from commercial. Here on Turn 5 Live on PMN. I love it.
If that doesn't get you pumped up, nothing will.
Can't get enough of it, man. And you know, I believe it's the World of Outlaws, Johnny Gibson, that always says, often imitated, never duplicated. I don't know that anybody's imitating Shane Andrews, but he's definitely not duplicated. That's for sure.
No, you're not going to duplicate that guy.
That is for sure. Talking Motorsports Expo 2016, we got a chance to catch up, and it's typically around this time of year that we get to catch up with Kelly Hebing, driver of the SUNY Canton Danny Wilmus Enterprises, number 10, the 305 Sprinter
for the Little Cobra. She's got a new sponsor for her this year. She's going to tell us about that. Going to tell us about her plans for this season, and just a really good conversation with a young up-and-coming driver. Let's hear now from Kelly Hebing. Well, it's always about this time of year that we get to talk to Kelly Hebing here at Motorsports Expo, and I'll tell you what, you guys never cut any corners when it comes to how sharp the race car looks.
Dan Pilot's usually wore out by the time I get done with him, but he always makes something good and what everybody likes. So it's a lot of fun working there and torturing them through the process. But no, it's a cool deal working on your own car. You get to see it all the way through. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. You talk about working at Pilot. I mean, this has got to be your guys' hell week.
We are cranking the next few weeks here. He's working God knows how long. Poor guy. But yeah, he sticks through it, and he's dedicated to what he does. And we've got like 30-something race car bodies in the shop, and they keep coming one by one. Yeah. So car shows are usually hard, but he puts in the hours.
Get him a cot and a refrigerator there.
Yeah, I'm not sure his wife would like that.
So tell us about the plans for this season, what we've got here. Of course, the familiar SUNY Canton number 10. But talk to us about what you guys have coming up this year.
Well, Danny Wilmus still owns the cars and everything, and I wouldn't be doing it without him. But this year I had Mohawk Northeast come on board, and it's an honor to have Al and Betsy come on. The name they give in motorsports, it's just honored to have them come along. So it's really cool to have them on this year. I'm gonna do the 305 deal. I like traveling with the CRSA group. It's a great group of guys and girls that run together, and I like the whole different schedule, different tracks deal. And we just broke the news to Mom, but I'm going to be dipping my feet in the 360 this year.
Oh.
So we hooked up with Doneth Motorworks, and we got a motor for 4-6 races. Just get our feet wet and end of the season, see where we're at, see if Mom still loves us.
You talk about running some 305s. Now, is this kind of a hit or miss on the tour, or are you guys following the whole tour?
It probably won't be the whole tour because I still like doing the stuff with Dad, and then getting my feet wet in the 360 stuff probably wouldn't let me do the whole tour with the CRSA. But like the I-88, they piggyback sometimes with 360s, the Thunder Mountain, the Utica Roams, stuff like that, and see if we can get Dad to venture out with me a little bit. We've done a Malta show last year. It's a great group to run with, a lot of fun, race hard and clean.
Any tracks on their schedule that you've got circled that you either haven't been to before or looking forward to going back to?
I look forward to Utica Rome just because I've ran there and watched Dad so many times with the 305 against the 360s. So going back there with a group of your own cars is a lot of fun. And I really liked Albany Saratoga. It was a driver track. We all had to race clean and tight together, so that was a lot of fun.
You brought up Utica Rome. Other than Canandaigua, is that probably the track you've got the most experience at in your career so far?
Absolutely. When I was younger and starting 305s, I still wanted to go with Dad. I didn't want to give that up yet. So the 305 I brought to Utica Rome allowed me to go with those guys, and I've qualified my 305 against the 360s more than a couple times. So it's been a lot of fun. So I'd say that'd be the one over Canandaigua.
And the track conditions you normally see there would lend itself to let a 305 do well.
Most definitely. When Canandaigua's slick and Utica's slick, it becomes a driver's track. So.
All right. Talk a little bit about Dad's efforts this year. Going to have the 45 back this year.
Oh, yeah. He tells everybody he's going to slow down, but it never's happened.
Well, that's why I asked that question, because we always say that every year.
He's got 2 cars in the garage ready to go again. He tells everybody he's going to slow down and do the bucket list deal, but I don't think he's ready to give it up yet.
Well, and honestly, I mean, the skills certainly haven't fallen off for him either. So
no, he jokes around, but he won one last year, and he made the comment in victory lane to me, and goes, well, I guess if I'm still winning, I'm not that old. So as long as he's still on top a little bit with the other guys, I don't think he'll be gone.
When we first started talking to you here a couple of years ago, you know, we always joke about Mom in the pits and things. Is she getting any better with that?
Oh yeah, she's a saint. She eats dinner by herself most nights because we're out in the garage, and she'll come check on things and she'll have dinner ready. But she knows that she signed up for it too.
Yeah, and it's just a family thing with you guys. I mean, you even got this guy over here stepping up and doing a little 410 stuff this year. So I mean, for you guys, it's just another way of life.
Wicked. It's cool to see him move up and following his dream, and it's a blessing to find somebody that gets the whole, I can't talk tonight, we're at the shop, or we can't talk this weekend, I'm going here and you're going there. So it's cool to find somebody that is fine with you going the opposite direction too, and at the end of the day, you're still there.
He doesn't blow you off for shop time, does he?
No, never. He doesn't blow me off for going to Pennsylvania either.
Well, I'll tell you what, again, always good to catch up with you guys here. Talk to us about some of the folks that are helping you out this year.
Well, first and foremost, Danny Wilmus still owns the cars. I wouldn't be where I am without Danny stepping up from when I was in micros. SUNY Canton came back, L&J Landscaping came back, Cooks came back. And like I said before, Mohawk Northeast and the guys at HBR, it's an honor to have such a prestige team in motorsports on my car.
Yeah.
When you talk about top teams, you always look at HBR, and it's cool to have the opportunity to have them ride along with me.
Not that you have to go into the details of that, but I mean, that must have been a kind of a jaw-dropping conversation.
Absolutely. Dad's always known Al from the trailer deal, and I told him off the bat I didn't want to pull it like that. Him and Dad are friends kind of thing, and I got talking to him and asked if they'd want to do something, and thankfully they came back with a yes, and like you said, my jaw dropped, ran right outside, called Mom to tell her. Dad had no idea what was going on, went home and told him, so it's an honor. That kind of motorsports team to want to be involved with me, and it's just real cool what they do for the sport, and it's really amazing that they wanted to come on board.
And for a young driver like yourself, so easy to talk to, so available to the fans and promoters and things like that, that makes it so much easier to get people to back you every year.
Well, if it's one thing I've learned growing up in the whole motorsports world, it's you got to talk to people, to know people, to get anywhere in the sport. And the more friends you have, the farther you go, I guess.
This year, do we set goals? Do we have goals yet? Or are we just going and racing?
I want to win.
Yeah.
I got that one at Fulton, and it eluded me last year, but I definitely want to win, and I'd love to get one at the home track at Canandaigua.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I had a lot of close runs there, so I'm sure that that's not far away. Hey, good luck to you this year, and again, always good to catch up with you here at Expo.
Thank you. You too.
All right, Kelly Hebing getting ready to go in the SUNY Canton number 10. She'll be following some 305 shows with the CRSA and a 360 track near you.
Tell you what, guys, Kelly Hebing, her and Chuck were one of my first interviews ever when writing for Race Chaser Online, and I'll tell you what, just great people. Kelly Hebing is going to be a name we're going to be hearing around the dirt tracks for a long time. She's got a hell of a teacher, and we'll talk a little bit more about that, but first we're going to hear from Greg Hixson, who is the new director for the CRSA 305 Sprint Tour, and Greg told us about his duties for the 2016 season.
Talk to Mike Emhof from the Patriot Sprints, and now let's catch up with Greg Hixson, who's going to be doing a lot of traveling with the CRSA 305 Sprints this year. Greg, first off, it's going to be quite a change for you. I mean, I know you've traveled with the Patriots before, but doing the CRSA deal is going to be a whole nother thing.
Yeah, it is going to get a lot of traveling under my belt this year. Like you said, I have worked with the Patriots before, but kind of Mike's grunt, and this year it's going to be my deal. I'm going to have to, run the whole ordeal and make sure everything runs smoothly and professionally right from the start. A lot of responsibility, but I appreciate the opportunity from Mike having the confidence for me to go out and hopefully run a nice smooth show for him.
Looking over your guys' schedule here, I mean, you guys got a really diverse schedule here. Got a lot of tracks that, are on one end of the spectrum all the way to the other. I mean, you've got big tracks, little tracks, medium size. I mean, you got them all here.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it?
It is cool.
A little bit of something for everybody. I know as a driver, I personally like the smaller tracks because they're a lot more fun. Mm-hmm. Other guys like the bigger tracks, so we have a little bit of something for everybody.
talking about getting the season started with these guys. You guys are going to kick things off on April 23rd out at Fonda, and I thought that was a great place to start because this has typically been a Eastern New York type of series, but looking at what you guys have here, you guys are again focused on the eastern side of New York, but you guys are spreading it out a little bit.
Yeah, we are. Mike Emhof's focal point later on down the road is trying to get some more 305 races towards the east here. We talked about, because this is supposed to be a low budget operation here for racers, and we know that a lot of them can't afford to travel 5-6 hours at a time. So we're going to kind of try to do what he has done in the past with the Patriots. We're going to do an east-west deal, have two separate point funds. That's not going to happen in 2016, but we're looking forward to maybe doing something like that in 2017.
Okay.
And the guys from way out east, Middletown, that area, if they want to travel and come this way, they can.
Sure.
But we're not making them.
Gotcha. And in talking to him too, talking about the reception and that, and how the drivers have been talking about it, sounds like things have been pretty positive so far.
Yeah, I don't know a lot of the drivers. I'm just meeting them here at the car show,
Sure.
And it's kind of cool. I'm going into this not knowing the drivers, so I have no idea of their racing capabilities or personalities or anything, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it, though.
Looking over the schedule, is there any places on here that you've not been to before? Is any place you guys circled that, in your racing travels and your career that you haven't made it to?
The only one that I see is I-88. Somewhere along the line, either in the sprint car or the sportsman, I've hit just about all those tracks, but it's been many, many years. Middletown, we traveled there quite a few times. It's the track that I clinched my Mr. Dirt title at,
okay.
And so I'm kind of looking forward to going back there just for memories on my part, but
absolutely.
I'm really looking forward to all these tracks. I appreciate all the track owners and promoters giving us a chance to come there and put on a great show for them.
Absolutely. I mean, we look at this schedule here now, and I'll be honest, when I first picked it up, I was surprised. I thought, man, there's a lot of dates here. That's and to get that working relationship with these promoters is key.
It is, and we want to compliment Mike Van Dusen. Mike Van Dusen was the owner of this organization in the past, and a lot of this he had in place. But Mike Emhof has worked diligently with these tracks to get dates and secure, a good schedule, and I appreciate that. While we're chatting here, I really do want to thank Paul Cole from Champion Generators for coming on board. He's our title sponsor this year. Joe from A Verdi. We got a pluffer of sponsors here, Casey's, Einstein, Shuttleworth. We appreciate everything that they're doing for us, and hopefully we can make them happy and have them return next year.
Well, man, it was good to catch up with you. Website for the 305 Tour.
CRSA.com.
All right, there you go. So you can get all the information there as well if you didn't make it out to the show this weekend. Greg, good to catch up with you as always.
Thanks, bud. Appreciate it.
All right, Greg Hixson from CRSA 305 Sprints out here at the Expo, talking sprint cars here with the 305 crew.
So good stuff there with Kelly Hebing and Greg Hixson. We'll talk about that in our next segment. We've got Andy Harpell from 5 Mile Point Speedway as well. And guys, in our next segment, we got to pick a winner from the Woodhull Raceway photo caption contest that they were running today. We're going to declare a winner next here for a pair of passes to opening night at Woodhull Raceway. We'll do it next here on Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network, the voice of motorsports.
You own a performance car and you know how to drive, but you want to learn real performance driving. Well, Bunky, get that car off the street and onto the track. Summit Point Motorsports Park, the Mid-Atlantic's premier road racing facility, located just over an hour from D.C. in nearby Summit Point, West Virginia, is the place to go. And you'll find that Friday at the Track is going to give you what you need. For less than a monthly car payment, you can attend this regularly scheduled one-day instructional event in your street car on one of Summit Point's 3 world-class road racing circuits. You'll receive classroom instruction, skid pad instruction in their cars, including front and rear skid control, and 4 20-minute in-your-car instructional sessions from a professional instructor. Have fun, go fast, and really learn how to drive. Call 304-725-8444 for class schedules and details. That's 304-725-8444. Friday at the track at Summit Point Motorsports Park.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ball in street? Girl in street!
It's hard to concentrate on 2 things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Here's an important message from RAD and this station.
Hi, this is Bob Sheehan from Blues Traveler for RAD, recording artists against drunk driving. I like to party just as much as the next guy, maybe even more. But the one thing I won't do after I've had a few is get in the car and drive. Don't blow it. Always choose a designated driver. Remember, music lives, and so should you.
Motorsports sales professionals. Performance Motorsports is looking to build a team of experienced media sales professionals to represent our programming to the industry's top companies, magazines, and racing series. If you have motorsports sales or marketing experience, know how to work with agencies, understand social media, and are incredibly creative when it comes to working with clients and promotions, then we want to hear from you. Top performers are richly rewarded. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444. That's 717-749-0444, or email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com. You want to ask for Sue.
Hi, race fans. This is Brett Deo, and you're listening to Turn 5 Live on PMN.
Welcome back, race fans, to Turn 5 Live here on the Performance Motorsports Network. Stephen and Brad Ovens, Clint Miller joining you on the program here tonight. Gentlemen, before we go any further, we got to pick a winner over here on the Woodhall Raceway Facebook page. They had a caption this photo, Shane Jackson photo, of a late model doing a little bit of, a little bit of weeding down in the ditch line over in turn 2. Guys, I don't know if you had a chance to check out some of the comments here. We had a lot of good ones. Anyone that stands out to you guys?
I like Todd Burgess's comment. He's not getting under me this time.
That is a good one. How about you, Brad? All right. We've got. I'll tell you what, Clint. We've got that one from Todd Burgess. We've got. Where's the wipers and headlights? That was one of my favorites.
That's a good one, yep.
That's a good one. So I think we're down to those two.
And there's always the proverbial hold my beer and watch this. That's like the old stand down,
That's true. All right, so we got a third one in here. We got 3 to pick from. What do you think, my man?
I kind of like the one that you said. I can't find it right off the top here.
It's the wipers and the headlights. I need them now.
Yes, yeah. Where's the wipers and the headlights?
All right, we'll go with that. So congratulations to Nancy Knapp. She is the winner of a pair of passes to Woodhall Raceway for opening night, Saturday, April 16th. Going to be a full show minus the modified, so you'll have the 360 late models, Crate Sportsman, Street Stocks. You'll also have the 4-cylinder mini stocks. So you've got the front-wheel drives and the Woodhall Warriors. So a big show for not next week, but a couple weeks now. We are just 32 days away from kicking things off on the high banks. We got the chance to catch up with Andrew Harpell at Motorsports Expo, and no, we did not talk Race of Champions anything.
That's probably a good idea.
I think that horse has been beat to death about 12,000 times, and so we did not even. I didn't even bring the topic up We talked all 5 Mile Point Speedway, and this is what Andy Harpell had to say about their upcoming 2016 season.
Working our way around Motorsports Expo and found Andy Harpell here. We're going to talk a little 5 Mile Point Speedway for the 2016 season, and you guys already had a chance to get the cars out for practice. I just told somebody earlier that we're usually cussing Mother Nature this time of year, but she's been pretty good this year.
Absolutely, we can't complain at all. You know, last year I was looking back at some of our social media posts, and my nephew Tanner and I were on the track, I believe it was the 16th of March. We had snow drifts that were 6 feet high, so we were taking the loader, to get the snow and over the banks. And our opener last year, we had piles of snow outside of the walls in 1 and 2 and over in 3 and 4. So, yeah, we're definitely a lot farther ahead. We had an impromptu practice this past Wednesday, and it was just awesome. We were lucky enough. I went out and graded the racetrack a week ago Friday when it was still frozen, because once it thaws, you're just going to make a mess.
Yeah.
So got to grade to it, did everything we wanted to, and let Mother Nature take its course. And we had that 70-degree day, and it was just great. We had over 30 race teams, and the attitude of everybody, because it was just so nice, was just tremendous. Everybody was in a good frame of mind, and it was just really a neat night. So, we're excited. It really helped lay the foundation a little bit for this season. We're going to open on Sunday, April 3rd, and come back Sunday, April 10th with a big modified show that's kind of our spring tradition. So, we got Danny Johnson in the booth here this weekend. He's going to support some of our early shows, and of course, the Super Dirt Series race in July. So, we're really excited about the direction for this year.
I like the way you guys start out with, you've got a kind of a marquee event for your sportsman competitors, and then the following week, like you said, come back with the National Quarter Mile Southern Tier Modified 66. It really gives both of those divisions a chance to have their own moment in the light.
Yeah, absolutely. And for the sportsman that first week, in years past, you don't know whether it's good, it's always been a good test of what the track's going to do too, without the full-blown modifieds. And we're in great shape. The track the other night was awesome, so we're real good going into the spring shows. But for the sportsman teams, that's been a traditional event now the last really 10 years, and we get teams from New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and beyond. So it's really kind of a meeting ground for an early season big event for them. And we're really excited. We're going to have a crate late model open that day as well. And, my brother Dan at PenCan running crate late models weekly this year. We see a lot of interest from as far away, as Canada for that show being an early season event. So, we're really excited. April should show some big things at the quarter mile.
And you guys too, looking with the crate sportsman in particular, I know that in the past you guys have run those and the open sportsmen together. You guys now have the crates all to their lonesome now.
Yeah, for the weekly shows, we are going to run 3 open versus crate programs. And last year, Jordan Siri was our track. We had a point system within a point system.
Right.
He was our crate champion, but he also won a feature against the opens during the regular season. So, being a quarter mile, we had that luxury to blend them. But the reality was that, last year I came to the conclusion that we became a little stagnant, that I wanted to look 3 years beyond where we were going to be. And, when we had a sportsman team blow an open motor, we lost them for 5 or 6 weeks during, because of the expense. And for that same investment, they can have 3 crate motors. So it's the right move, and things have been very, very positive. Our partnership with my brother at PenCan, we're on the same tires now, same compounds for the modifieds and the sportsmen. So the buzz has been there. We're also, if you win on Friday night at PenCan in any division, you get 3 free pit passes to 5 Mile the next night. And likewise, if you win Saturday 5 Mile the following week. So we've got a lot of neat things going on. Skyline and himself started up the Star Series again. So we're going to have a little mini series there between the 3 tracks. And we're just really excited about the upcoming year.
I imagine that announcement with the tires, being the same across the board, not only for folks supporting both places, but when you can help out that tire bill for these guys, that's big.
Yeah, absolutely, and the 48 American Racer has been the perfect tire for 5 Mile, and for PenCan last year it got a little bit harder as the season went on. And what had happened is you had guys that still had the option to go softer. So you were seeing guys run a softer tire in the heat and maybe putting on a 48, a harder tire for the feature. Now they got to have double the inventory too.
Right.
So now, if a Friday night at PenCan, they should rain out. a guy can come to 5 Mile Saturday and not have to change anything, and vice versa. So it just opens the doors up for the teams, and the expense, really can cut it in half. So the response has been tremendous. So we're pretty excited.
And not only cutting down on the tire bill, but also all those hours mounting and dismounting that we hear drivers talk so friendly about.
Absolutely. You got to keep in mind in this day and age, the average team doesn't have 5-6 guys helping them.
Yeah.
So it's all leg work for a lot of times the driver and his family, girlfriend, wife, kids. So the less time they have to put in that we can get them to the racetrack, the better for everybody.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the highlights here throughout the year. You talked about the Super Dirt Car Series coming on the 12th. I was out of town for that one last year, but I'll tell you what, listening in on Dirt Vision, what a show.
Yeah, we unfortunately we rained out on its original date, the Tuesday, and had to go back to our rain date. But it was the closest finish of the Super Dirt Car Series last year, and I'll tell you what, it was really a neat deal because, as you know, doing the RLC Series all those years, the biggest three supporters of that series were Stuart Friesen, Danny Johnson, and Pat Ward.
Yeah.
And to see those guys rise to the top on that day showed you they spent the most time at the track on off events during the last few years, so they had a leg up, I think, know. But Pat, there's no better people, than the Ward family and the Friesen family, and so for either one of them to win, it would have been kind of a neat deal. But Pat just came up about a foot short at the end, and it was just an awesome race.
You guys might have had to build new grandstands there on the front stretch if Pat Ward had won that race.
Oh, I know it, and the truth of the matter is, Pat will tell you that it was his to win, and he just kind of stumbled a little bit going into 3, and the last 5 laps, those two were pretty much a dead heat at the stripe every lap, and it didn't take much for the outcome to be determined. And and truthfully, in victory lane, Pat was visibly upset because he felt that he had it to win, but you can't fault Stuart for just doing a great job.
No, not at all, not at all. Talk to us about some of the other. I know early on in the season we were talking to Mike Emhof. He was real thrilled to be coming to 5 Mile Point on May 1st.
Yeah, we are as well. It's the first time since 2005, and again, it's an off night, so it's Sunday, May 1st. It's, I believe, the first New York State, or at least downstate, race for the Patriots, and yeah, we're very excited about it. I think the field should be good. Ceilings Grove has a big event the night before, so there's some teams that may be coming up from that as well. So, and as far as 5 Mile goes, it's as racy of a place as you'll see. So I can't wait to see the cars, the sprint cars, the 360s on the quarter mile. I think it'll be tremendous.
Be fun to see what they can do out there.
Absolutely. And, we had team testing just Wednesday, Thomas Radovoy, who runs both 305 and 360s, but he's going to be up for that show. And, just trying to get it the leg up. So it should be a great deal.
5milepointspeedway.com is where they can get all the information.
Yep, and just have to keep in mind it's the number 5.
That's right.
And then it's milepointspeedway.com. But we have everything there, and the show's been great this weekend, and we're looking forward to getting it started.
So that was Andrew Harpell from 5 Mile Point Speedway giving us a breakdown of their upcoming 2016 season. A lot of good things coming up for those guys. They've got those big specials to start the season. You've got the Crate Sportsman, Open Sportsman Special to start their year on Sunday, April 3rd. The following week, April 10th, they've got a modified special as well. So check that out, 5milepointspeedway.com. And remember, it's the number 5, 5milepointspeedway.com for all the info. We'll step aside when we come back. We've got more great interviews from the Syracuse Motorsports Expo. We turn from one Harpell to another. Dan Harpell joins us next on Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network, the voice for motorsports.
Years, Stock Car Steel has been a leading materials supplier to the racing industry. Now they're also an official motorsports content partner of Race Chaser Online. The biggest names in NASCAR trust Stock Car Steel for all their raw materials, such as carbon steel, chrome moly, DOM, aluminum, plastics, and much, much more. You can't build a race car without the basic materials, and Stock Car Steel is the place to get them. Don't forget to also visit Stock Car Steel's sister company, SRI Supplies, for racing and industry industry. SRI is your #1 source for all your shop supply needs. Nuts, bolts, rivets, tapes, adhesives, cutting tools, chemicals, body shop supplies, paint shop supplies, lubricants, and more. A well-stocked race shop is a winning race shop, and the road to winning begins with 3 letters, SRI. For more information, visit stockcarsteel.com and SRI-supplies.com. You can also find them on Facebook at Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, or call either company toll-free at 1-888-752-7272.
Creekside Entertainment is the official DJ, photo booth, and uplighting company of Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network. Stuart Ovens and his staff at Creekside Entertainment are professional and experienced with events of any type. Creekside Entertainment specializes in wedding packages that are affordable and fun, and they are ready to serve you with the most up-to-date music and karaoke selection. If you can sing it in the shower, you can come out and sing it with Creekside Entertainment. And don't forget about the Creekside Entertainment photo booth and uplighting service that will transform your wedding or party into an event the family will be talking about for years. Trust the entertainment company that racers trust. Call Stu at area code 315-481-9700 or visit them online at creeksideentertainmentdj.com. You can also find them on Facebook and Twitter. Creekside Entertainment, division sponsor of the Black Rock Bandits in 2015.
We're growing like crazy and need account reps who know their way around agencies, the internet, and social media. Got connections? Or do you know how to get to the decision makers? Are you fearless? We need you. Internet radio, or as we call it, wireless mobile radio, is rapidly becoming the place to be with almost limitless income potential. So contact us to get involved with the fastest growing professionally produced group of internet radio stations in the world. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444. That's 717-749-0444. Or you can email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com. You want to ask for Sue.
Hi, race fans. This is Mills Family Racing, and you're listening to Turn 5 Live on PMN.
Welcome back, race fans, to Turn 5 Live here on the Performance Motorsports Network. Stephen Ovens, Clint Miller, Brad Ovens joining me on the program tonight. We just got done talking to Andy Harpell from 5 Mile Point Speedway. His brother Dan, who their family owns the 5 Mile Point Speedway, is also the promoter at the Pencan Speedway. We talked to Dan, and it was good to talk to Dan. Haven't seen him in a little while. Good to see him out at Expo, and he told us about all the exciting things happening at Pencan in 2016.
Well, we got great timing here. We'll transition from one Harpell to another here. We'll have Dan step in here. We'll talk a little bit about Pencan Speedway for the 2016 season. And he's so kind to grab me a schedule here so we can take a look at that. Dan, always good to catch up with you as well here. You guys, I'll tell you, I was just telling Andy, usually this time of year we're cussing Mother Nature, but this year she's been pretty good to us.
Oh, it's been unbelievable. I'd tell you, we're 6 weeks ahead of where we were last year. I spent 3 days on the track this week. The track's all ready to go. I just feel so much better going into this year than I did last year, because last year it was wait. You got all this snow on the track. You can't rush it. Wait, and then okay, go. You know, and then it's just a mad dash trying to get everything done at the last minute, and it's just then you never seem to catch up. So I feel great about how things are going so far.
And second year with Pencan in a row here as the promoter, so I imagine that there's probably things that you're going to be able to do this year that it takes a couple 3 years to get things right where you want them as a promoter.
Absolutely, and no question about it. Even though I've been there for many years, I was race director there. It's a whole different animal when it's your animal, and we learned a lot last year, and that's where another thing. Last year there was a lot of unknowns going in. Now at least we have the lay of the land, and having this nice weather to get things done outside ahead of time like this is phenomenal. So yeah, it definitely helps. I'm a lot more comfortable going into this season than I was last year.
I know all the promoters we talk to here still have got that kind of to-do list of things before opening day. Just give the race fans a couple examples of things that are on Dan Harpell's to-do list before opening day.
Well, we're always looking for sponsorship, so that goes down. That never ends. Outside-wise, we still got to get all the water lines hooked up and get that stuff done, which that'll take a good day to get the water running and everything. The track itself, like I said, we're way ahead of the game on that, so that's a big plus. We got bleachers we need to replace, waiting for the lumber to come in on that so we can repair them, and so it's coming to car shows. There's a million things to be done, that's for sure.
Yeah. Busy time of the year, no doubt about it. I was talking to Andy a little bit about you guys getting together as far as the tire choices go between the two tracks. From your perspective, what's the reaction been to that?
It's been great. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't sure how well it was going to be received because Penn Can is a softer type of surface than 5 Mile is, and so it's a harder tire, but everybody's been really good with it. And what we've heard is a lot of guys would like to. There aren't a lot of guys that are running 2 nights a week like they used to, but guys, like if we rain out one night, guys would like to go to 5 Mile, but they'd have to have a whole different set of tires. Now they're good to go. They can go there and race. Same thing if he's not running on Saturday, on Friday night before, like there's a couple nights where he doesn't have a Saturday race. Guys are going to come to Penn Can because they don't have to change stuff. So that's been a big plus, and I'm really surprised how many guys I've heard from that have actually said we're going to start out running both tracks and see how long we can go, how far we can go. So that's encouraging because you haven't heard that a lot in recent years. So
and not just the fact that take the brother thing aside. I mean, you guys are so close together that it just makes sense to do these things.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't know if Andrew told you about the deal. If you win at Penn Can on Friday, you get 3 passes to 5 Mile on Saturday, and vice versa. That's gone over really well too. And it's the things like that mean a lot to these guys. And so it gives them a little added incentive, and certainly something we can talk to them about in Victory Lane every night. Hey, you just won 3 passes to 5 Mile tomorrow night, and so we need to do that. And the 2 tracks have always been sister tracks, and realistically in the last several years they've kind of distanced. I don't want to say distance each other, but there's been some rule differences that have made it kind of difficult for guys to go to both places. So now we're back on the same page, and the only difference still is sail panels, and Penn Can sail panels, 5 Mile isn't. I personally am not a big sail panel fan, but a lot of the guys that race there are, so we kept that the same, and I heard that's one thing I heard from a lot of guys was, hey, if we're going to go to the harder tires, you got to talk your brother into running sail panels. So, but other than that, that's really the only thing that anybody has to change if they want to run both nights. So,
you guys got March Madness coming up Saturday the 26th, and I'll tell you what, just looking at this schedule, I love that show. I mean, these are your dirt track heroes here, the street stocks, the factory stocks, and the 4-cylinders to kick it off.
Yeah, definitely. It's and you put that on the schedule thinking, well, if we get decent weather, we got a shot and have a nice day. I did it years ago, probably 20 years ago, 5 Mile. I did the same type of show, and we got a mid-50s day, and we had a big crowd, and it was great. And then I did it the next year, and we had the same kind of outcome. And then the next year, there was 2 feet of snow on the ground. Right. So you just don't know. But I figured if it's not on the schedule, you can't do it. If it's on the schedule, you got a shot. And now it looks like we got a.
I was going to say we got a pretty good shot so far.
Yeah, that's great. Let's hope that it stays this way. And even everybody's saying, well, winter's not over yet. There's always that big snowstorm in the spring. But at this point, even if there is, the ground is, it'll melt, right away. So anything you get now is as discouraging as it might be. It's not going to last long. So.
Yeah. And then, of course, the can opener Friday, April 29th, modified 602 Sportsman, street stocks, 4-cylinders, factory stocks, and the addition of the crate late models. How has that gone over? From talking to Andy, it sounds like that's been a positive thing for Penn Can.
That's been the most talked about thing that we've done. How many cars we'll have, I don't know. I hope, honestly, my goal is we can get 8 cars the first year. And then maybe 12 the next year. I am 100% committed to this class. It's the number one thing I heard last year at PennCan from people on race night, or they'd send me an email, hey, you ever think about bringing back late models? Well, I thought about it coming into last year, but I didn't. I wanted to get the lay of the land the first year before I did anything like that, and that's been the most talked about thing. And back before Christmas, I did the 12 Days of Christmas promotion on our Facebook page, and each day leading up to Christmas, I made a different announcement. First announcement I made was that we're bringing back the late models. We had over 5,000 views. We had 170 shares, and that by far nothing compared to the excitement on that. The comments, it was fantastic. And I was at my show at the Oakdale Mall there 2 weeks ago, and I had a lady come over and say, are you really running late models at PennCan? I said, yeah. And she hit her kid and says, I told you. And she said, well, we'll be back. We used to go to PennCan all the time until they got rid of the late models, and we stopped going. But now that you're going to run them, we'll be back every Friday night. And so that's, and she said that we're from the South, we're from Tennessee, we've been here 10 years, and we're just starting to get used to these modified things, but we're late model people.
Oh, that's late model country.
Oh, yeah. And it's, a funny thing, I was at the convenience store one night, actually coming home from the 5 Mile Banquet, and I had the pace car, the PennCan car, and come outside and I hear some guy say, y'all run late models at your track? And I said, yeah, as a matter of fact, we're going to start running them this year. And turns out he's from Georgia. He just moved up here in July to take over the truck wash. He's manager of the truck wash, and he's got 2 late models. He's got a crate motor. He's got open motors. But and he told me, and I'll believe it when I see it. Sure. But he showed me pictures of his cars, the beautiful cars, and he says that he's going, when he gets home, he's getting his cars and bringing them north. And he says, you got 2 cars coming. But it's been just in the last few weeks from the competitor standpoint, I'm starting to hear about more and more guys that are building. Some guys were kind of taking the approach of the wait and see approach. Yeah. And I've told them all, if everybody waits to see, nobody's going to see anything, so somebody's got to act. Exactly. And I'm seeing there's still quite a few guys that had cars that when they stopped running the open late models that still have the cars. They can throw a crate motor in and go racing. And we're part of the Cars series for the American Racers, which is the same type of deal as the American Racer Cup, but it's for late models. Yeah. And it's a tremendous program. The overall winner gets $5,000, and there's only 4 or 5 tracks involved in it. So a PennCan driver has a real legitimate shot of winning that whole overall deal.
And this is all on top of what you would get, your weekly racing and your championship for the season.
Right. Yeah. It's just an added bonus. They give tires away to I think it's 5 tires to the track champ, 4 to second, and so on down the line. They do tire giveaways during the summer. Same program as the modifieds and the sportsmen, but it's for late models. And it's something they're trying to build up. They only have 4 or 5 tracks involved in it right now, so it's a great opportunity for a guy that runs PennCan to put some pretty good money in his pocket.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, you guys got a great schedule here. Where can the fans go online to see schedule, news, and announcements?
Well, you can go to PennCan.com, and that's our website. We've got the stuff on there, and then also our PennCan Facebook page is that I update daily. So that's kind of where that's the main source of news. The website. We also, that's a place to go too. But the Facebook page is just so easy to throw something on there real quick if you need.
It's real time,
Yeah, exactly. So.
And it's something you mentioned too that kind of struck me too is, you're absolutely right. We judge reaction now based on views, shares, and comments, likes, that kind of thing. That kind of helps us tell what moves the needle and what doesn't.
Oh, no question about it. And I looked at, I'm a caveman still. I'm old school, but I'm trying.
That might be why I brought that up, because I remember you telling me that before.
Yeah, and I'm getting with the 21st century. I'm in the late 20th century right now. I'm almost to the 21st.
You're almost there, man.
No, I'm getting there. But yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, when I did that 12 Days of Christmas, each day we gave away a pair of passes to somebody that shared it. We just randomly picked a person. So we gave out passes, but every day you could track, just like you said, how many views, how many shares, and how many likes and all that. And it gives you, and there's some things on there that I thought maybe would have gotten a bigger hit and didn't, and there was things I didn't think was going to be a big deal, and it got a big response. So it does help you gauge a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, as always, great to talk to you. Glad to catch up. It's been a while, and I'm telling you, I've got to make it to Penn Can, and I'll tell you what, this March Madness just might be the ticket for me, because I love street stocks, I love factory stocks, I love four cylinders.
Yeah, it's right around the corner. It's hard to believe, but yeah, if we keep the weather like it is, and it's all systems go, so we're looking forward to it.
Well, good luck this season, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you a lot more.
Thanks very much. I appreciate it. Good talking to you again.
All right, Dan Harpell, Andy Harpell. Got both 2 for 1 here at the Motorsports Expo, talking Penn Can and talking 5 Mile Point Speedway.
Dan Harpell, Clint, we were talking about it here in our chat while we were playing the interview. Miss seeing Dan Harpell on Friday nights, man. What a guy.
Yeah, he was, I think he was kind of instrumental in getting Black Rock Speedway to kind of start to turn the corner, get a vision going, and just over that year, talking to Dan, learned a lot about him. He's all about the racing business. He grew up with it. His kids are with him all the time, and working on the track, and it's really a family affair for those guys, and I just love hearing him talk and the excitement in his voice about new things coming up.
No doubt about it. We'll step aside here. We'll talk a little bit more about our interviews tonight. We've also got 2 more interviews for you tonight. One with Carol from Chemung Speedrome, the announcer there, and also a clip with Frank Guererri Jr. from his benefit party this past weekend. We'll get to both of those next here on Turn 5 Live on PMN, the Performance Motorsports Network, the voice of motorsports.
We're growing like crazy and need account reps who know their way around agencies, the internet, and social media. Got connections? Or do you know how to get to the decision makers? Are you fearless? We need you. Internet radio, or as we call it, wireless mobile radio, is rapidly becoming the place to be with almost limitless income potential. So contact us to get involved with the fastest growing professionally produced group of internet radio stations in the world. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444. That's 717-749-0444. Or you can email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com. You want to ask for Sue.
Okay, so Sarah, I'm dropping you off at Emily's?
Yep.
And Josh, you're going to?
Soccer, Dad. Soccer practice.
Right. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to let you know when I pick you both up, I'll be wearing my short shorts.
What? No!
Yep, and my dorky dad hat, and I'm going to do my dad dance for all your friends. They'll love it!
Seriously? Why?
Because I like my short shorts. Of course, I could be talked out of it if you guys would just buckle up your seatbelts without giving me a hard time.
It's important to get your kids to buckle up for safety, no matter what it takes. And sometimes, all it takes is your parental powers of persuasion.
Okay, we're buckling up. See, all buckled.
Good choice. I'll just have to do my dad dance at dinner time. What?
No!
Do what you have to make sure your kids are wearing their seatbelts, even on short drives. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.
If you're a gearhead and you just can't get enough of your favorite motorsports on that channel on the cable, or you look at that Guy network and you just go, what does that have to do with me? We have the answer. Performance Motorsports Network. Right here on the internet. The best cruising tunes, the best in motorsports programming, and the best shows. We have opinionated hosts, and we like it that way. If you want to get involved, if you want to bench race, be listening for information coming up soon right here on this channel, the Performance Motorsports Network, your source for motorsports.
Hi race fans, this is Mel Thomas from Thomas Video, and you're listening to Turn 5 Live on PMN.
Mel Thomas bringing us back from commercial break here on Turn 5 Live. Those boys had a busy week out at Motorsports Expo, and they're having a pretty busy weekend coming up too, as they will be converging on Outlaw Speedway to rewire the joint, get all the HDMI cable all run through the facility. And Brad, I'll bring you in here. This was something that, has been on the list, I think, for the last few promoters that have come through before Tyler Siri purchased the place. But to get all of this cable run through, get all these new TVs put up in the VIP booths, and heck, I'm pumped, man. I get one in the announcers booth now too. This is all part of that fan experience that we talked to Tyler about earlier tonight.
Yeah, and I've been with them. I've worked with those guys before, and it's one thing to go out on a 1 day or 2 day show where you're just running cable to get the show done. But these guys have got to go over and they've got to run cable that's going to stay there for hopefully years to come. So it definitely makes it a lot harder when you have to make a wire not seen, but you still want it to be safe and to be there for a long time to come. But, you've got two of the best guys going over there, two of the best guys in the business going over there to do it. So I have no doubt that they're going to do it, and it's going to be great when they're done.
Yeah, it is going to be great for sure. We're making our Speedway great again. All right, sorry, I just had to. I had to. Sorry. All right. Well, if you didn't get the reference, never mind. It's all good. We're going to go into our interview with Carol Houssock from Chemung Speedrome. The announcer there has been for the last 3 seasons and has spent a lot of time at Chemung in her announcing and media career. She told us a little bit about what's happening in 2016 at the Drome. So let's hear it from Carol on 2016.
Well, working our way around here at Motorsports Expo and caught up here with the voice of the Chemung Speedrome, Carol Houssock. Did I get it right? Close. Okay. Well, Carol, it's great to catch up with you here. Exciting season coming up at Chemung, and something that I'm looking forward to talking more about with the Morning Times and Sayre. So tell us what we got to look forward to this year at Chemung.
Well, I think we have an exciting year. We've got a new tire that we'll be using. It's a wider tire, a new brand. So there's some excitement about that. And I'm back. I was gone for a few years, but I'm back. This will be my 3rd year back. And each year that I'm back has been a build-up of the year before. Okay. So that's the way you want to go in terms of competition on the track, number of cars pulling in, and also the fans in the stand. So I've seen it as a growth over the last 3 years, and I'm really excited about it. I love Friday night, just going there and
I've been to Chemung once before, and it's such a unique track because you have to me, the corners are so different because of how the guys run them, and the way those cars climb out of the hole in 4, it just, and put the power down all the way down the straightaway. It's a really unique track.
Well, I've heard people say you set your car up for 2 and hope you can get through 4, because that's the one that's the trickiest. But even turn 3 is difficult, and there are people that I really enjoy watching who pull off this bonsai move. And Gene Sharpstein's one of them, and TJ Petrobowski's another one. They just have a knack of just going in there at steam, hanging onto the car, and coming off turn number 4 without any contact. So it is tricky. It's a nice little beautiful facility. So if people have not been there, it's a great family-friendly place.
The Premier Division, the Sunoco Modifieds. Talk to us a little bit about some of the players with that division.
Well, last year there were 3, really. We had 3 different winners. Jimmy Zacharias, I think, picked up 10 of the feature wins. His brother TJ got 2 or 3. And Gene Sharpstein was the only other one to pick up a win last year. So in terms of competition, there is a lot of competition. But, when you're getting to lap 35, 36, it's not a bit unusual to see one of the Zacharias machines up there toward the front.
You guys start your season off Sunday, May 1st. First scheduled competition there, 75 laps for the Modifieds, also a 30-lapper for the New York Superstocks. And from what I understand, those guys put on a great show down there, too.
They do. That track is really ideally suited for them, and they put on a couple great shows for us when they were visiting last year. But our own Superstock division is pretty exciting too, and of course then we have the 4 cylinders, so they are our 3 NASCAR divisions. Okay. We have the INEX Legends, and again, Chemung is the perfect track for them. They put on a great show. We've had 28, 30 cars there on a typical Friday night, and with them come the INEX Bandoleros, and we've seen a lot of growth in that division as well. So that, to me, that's all a sign of a healthy future for the sport.
Yeah. Legends versus Bandoleros. Tell me the difference there.
Well, they're nothing alike.
Oh, okay.
The Legend is INEX Legend, and I'm not a motor person, but they look like the old coupes back in the day.
Oh, okay.
And the Bandoleros are lower to the ground. They almost resemble, like, if you remember the old, the Cup Light cars.
Okay.
I can't think of what they were called. The Cup Lights, I guess they were.
Yeah.
They're lower to the ground, and that's for a starter class, mainly for kids, basically 8 to 15, I would say, are in those. And, one of these days I'm going to brush up on my motor skills so I can answer that with somewhat speaking intelligently, but they are fun. It's a great entry-level class.
Well, you certainly had more information than I did. I thought it was actually the same car, maybe, a youth class, but so that's what the Bandoleros is designed for, is to get some of the younger drivers up through there.
Well, technically, back in the day, we used to say they're for anybody 8 to 80.
Oh, okay.
So anyone can get in them, but it is primarily an entry-level class, and a lot of the drivers that compete at Chemung have been from the microds, the Southern Tier microds, and they've gone into that, made the jump to the Legends car, and then on to something else. Some of them make the rare jump from the Bandolero right to a sport modified, so, they're experienced.
Yeah.
They've got experience.
So from your perspective, and I think we see this across the board at a lot of tracks, the tracks that have either some type of go-kart track or microd track associated or located near them, when you have a healthy track there for the youngsters, it only promotes racing at the big track, because eventually they're going to need to move up.
Exactly, and Chemung's size, similar to where you are on Friday nights, lends itself to both. So they get used to, it's a little bit bigger than what they've competed on in a microd, let's say, but it also gets them used to the track, gets them used to turns 3 and 4, and so then when they make the jump, they're better prepared for it.
So we got the first event at Chemung coming up on Sunday, May 1st. I was taking a look at the schedule yesterday. They've got some test and tune opportunities for the guys, but first racing action kicks off Sunday, May 1st.
We're Sundays in the month of May, with the exception of Mother's Day. We do not race on Mother's Day, so we race, we're off, and then we're back, and starting in June will be Friday nights.
Okay. All right, very good. Any other highlights for the first month or so of racing that we should talk about?
Gosh, it's like I should have the schedule memorized, but no, I think we're just really looking forward to that opener, because to me, if we always seem to start with a big show, and that can really challenge you if you've got a lot of new employees, because a lot of people go away with that's their impression. So right out of the gun, we've got to put it together and produce and make the show move along, so people want to come back. So it's too bad we both compete against each other on Friday nights, but we do have some Sundays.
Yes, well, you do, and I'm planning on at least this May 1st show making it out there, because, again, like you said, with the Friday nights, I don't get to make it out there very much, but I'll tell you this, for anybody that's not been there before, it couldn't be any easier to get to. I mean, it's literally, you can see it from the highway.
Actually, yeah, there's an exit right there for Chemung, and the other nice thing about the track is that there's a nice bank in turn number 4 that people sit on with their blankets or their lawn chairs, and there's just no better venue for viewing. There's no bad seat. There truly isn't. So come on out, and we do have a Saturday show coming up in August, the weekend of the Watkins Glen show.
That's right.
So if you can't make it on a Friday night, you can't make it on a Sunday night, maybe you can join us on a Saturday night.
I might just be able to do that. I'll have to pull some strings with Teddy White and see what I can do there. But I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to a great season for you guys. Again, right off of I-86, take the Chemung exit. Sunday, May 1st is the first show. They got 75 lap modifieds, 30 lap New York Super Stocks, as well as the Legends and the Bandoleros. Carol, appreciate the time as always.
Stephen, thank you, and good luck to you as well, and your drivers.
There's Carol from from the Chemung Speedrome. Again, guys, check them out, Chemung Speedrome. Check them out on the internet. Check the website. Schedule is posted there. And again, Sunday, May 1st for that opening show at Chemung.
Oh, there you have it, the news and the latest from the Chemung Speedrome. And, Brad, we were just talking here, that could be an interesting day right there. We're going to have to look at the schedule and see what time everything happens, because we just might have to pull the Chemung 5-mile double that day. A little pavement modifieds and then the Patriot sprints down at 5 Mile. We'll have to see how that all shakes out. Guys, we'll talk about a lot more. We've got one interview left tonight, Frank Guererri Jr. from his benefit party, and we'll talk, kind of recap the night. We've had a lot here on tonight's show. We appreciate everybody for listening tonight, and we got a little bit more for you coming as we get ready to take the white flag here on Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network, the voice for motorsports.
For 17 years, Stock Car Steel has been a leading materials supplier to the racing industry. Now they're also an official motorsports content partner of Race Chaser Online. The biggest names in NASCAR trust Stock Car Steel for all their raw materials, such as carbon steel, chrome moly, DOM, aluminum, plastics, and much, much more. You can't build a race car without the basic materials, and Stock Car Steel is the place to get them. Don't forget to also visit Stock Car Steel's sister company, SRI Supplies, for racing and industry. SRI is your #1 source for all your shop supply needs. Nuts, bolts, rivets, tapes, adhesives, cutting tools, chemicals, body shop supplies, paint shop supplies, lubricants, and more. A well-stocked race shop is a winning race shop, and the road to winning begins with 3 letters, SRI. For more information, visit stockcarsteel.com and SRI-supplies.com. You can also find them on Facebook at Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, or call either company toll-free at 1-888-752-7272.
Creekside Entertainment is the official DJ, photo booth, and uplighting company of Turn 5 Live and the Performance Motorsports Network. Stuart Ovens and his staff at Creekside Entertainment are professional and experienced with events of any type. Creekside Entertainment specializes in wedding packages that are affordable and fun, and they are ready to serve you with the most up-to-date music and karaoke selection. If you can sing it in the shower, you can come out and sing it with Creekside Entertainment. And don't forget about the Creekside Entertainment photo booth and uplighting service that will transform your wedding or party into an event the family will be talking about for years. Trust the entertainment company that racers trust. Call Stu at area code 315-481-9700 or visit them online at creeksideentertainmentdj.com. You can also find them on Facebook and Twitter. Creekside Entertainment, division sponsor of the Black Rock Bandits in 2015.
We're growing like crazy and need account reps who know their way around agencies, the internet, and social media. Got connections? Or do you know how to get to the decision makers? Are you fearless? We need you. Internet radio, or as we call it, wireless mobile radio, is rapidly becoming the place to be with almost limitless income potential. So contact us to get involved with the fastest growing professionally produced group of internet radio stations in the world. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444. That's 717-749-0444. Or you can email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com. You want to ask for Sue.
Hi, race fans. This is Matt Shepard, and you're listening to Turn 5 Live on PMN.
White rag is in the air. Last trip around New York's toughest bull ring, the fast 4/10 mile. Hell, even the Drome, that is Chemung Speedrome. Welcome back, race fans. You're listening to Turn 5 Live, our final segment of the night. And guys, let's recap a little bit here. We're gonna hear from Frank Guererri Jr. here in just a second. Boy, Clint, a lot of information to process tonight. Anything standing out to you in your mind tonight?
Well, obviously I go back to Tyler Siri's interview with everything they've done at Outlaw Speedway and the the sponsors that are coming back on board that have been away for so long. I I love listening to Kelly Hebing and the excitement that she brings to the sprint cars and the 305s, and her jumping into the 360s. I think is a really cool deal. And of course, listening to Dan Harpell and Andy Harpell talk. And talk about the things going on at Penn Can and 5 Mile Point and their tire deal that they did, equaling up for the tracks so people that you could run both tracks. You wouldn't have to worry about buying new tires, and the late model story. It's just been a great night and a lot of nostalgia and a lot of new things coming up. That just it's just great for the racing world.
How about for you, Brad?
Just a lot of what, hearing Kelly Hebing, I actually heard her talk to her at the expo before you actually got to her, and I found out she was going to do a little bit of 360 racing. And following the CRSA 305 Sprint Tour, I talked to the Ruggles up there about, their plans, and they plan to hit, a lot of the 360 racing, a little 305 racing when they can, but they're going to be out there following the tours. Dan Harpell and Penn Can, he's getting his second year into it. We've talked numerous times on the show before. It really takes 2, 3, 5 years to really get a business going, especially a racetrack. So
exactly.
I think there's a lot of good things coming out of it, and there's a lot of big stuff coming up, and a lot of tracks this year that seem like they're having a lot of big races right out of the bat. Right out of the box.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. All good points. A lot of really good stuff on the program here tonight. We've still got one left for you, though. Frank Guererri Jr. stepping into a crate late model this season at Canandaigua and as well as at Outlaw Speedway. I caught up with him Saturday night at his race team benefit party, and here's what Frank had to say about his upcoming season in the crate late model. Well, we found ourselves here at the Frank Guererri Jr. benefit party here in Seneca Falls. Perfect, right on the way home from Motorsports Expo today. Frank, moving up to the crate late models this season. How exciting is that?
I can't wait to get out there. I'm really excited and looking forward to it.
I understand in talking to you in the off season that the late model is something you've always had your eye on, so you got to be like a kid on Christmas getting a chance to do it.
Absolutely. I always wanted to try the BRP late models, but motors and everything was a little pricey for me. So this opportunity just happened, and it couldn't have happened any more perfect for me. It just all fell into place. So I'm really excited.
How are things coming on it so far?
Really good, and got the new body. Matt Shepard built us some new skins, and we got those on. It's going down to Pilot Graphics Monday, and we just got to get the motor in it and the shocks on it, and we'll be ready to go.
Now, being, for folks listening at home tonight, for people that, they hear crate sportsman modified, they hear crate late model, is there anything as far as the engine package goes that'll transfer over to the late model? Is it all basically the same stuff?
You could actually run the same sportsman engine in the crate late models with a weight brake, which isn't a terrible idea. We're going to start the year off with the 604, and we might eventually get our 602 back here. So we could have that kicking around the shop in case that's something we want to do, or just for a spare. But I bought a different carburetor, but pulley setup, all that stuff is pretty much the same.
Now, when the whole late model deal kind of came to fruition here, we were thinking that it was going to be every other week at Canandaigua, and then Tyler Siri comes in, gets Outlaw Speedway, and says, we're going to make it a weekly division. So, that awesome situation, I imagine, for you got even better.
Yeah, absolutely. When we first got the late model, Tyler didn't have the track yet, and we knew they were going to be at Canandaigua, so we figured we'd show up every other week with the car, and weeks we didn't race, we'd go and help the boys out in the back row gang there, and Tyler comes along, and his pay is just outstanding, and add a new division like that on a weekly basis, he's taking a risk, and really looking forward to being there every week, every Friday night, and we're going to do as much as Canandaigua as we can, and any of the local series stuff that's around, we're going to try to do as much as that too as we can.
Now, Tyler's been a supporter of your racing efforts the last couple seasons, and so you better than most can speak to the fact that, with this new deal with Outlaw Speedway coming along, I mean, he doesn't do anything unless it's first class.
Oh, absolutely. Anybody that has even seen Tyler show up to the track, truck trailer, the cars, everything's always first class, and I know he's going to put 100% into this track, and he's just got to get the support. When you pay the money he's paying, the guys pretty much got to shut up and show up.
Right. Yeah. Talk to us about some of the supporters that are helping you out this year.
Tyler's back on board even with the late model. That was confirmed before he even got the track. So, I can't thank him enough for everything he's done for me the last couple of years, helping me get to the track and, making sure we're having fun doing it. And, we got Champion Power Equipment now, Paul Cole. He's new to the 113, so, he's been on Nick and Gibbs' car, and I can't thank him enough for what he did. And Blown Smoke Barbecue, Trout's Auto Recycling. I got to thank all them guys for everything they've done to get us in the position to get ourselves to the track every week and have some fun.
Well, it's going to be fun to see, more than we've seen you in the last couple of seasons at, places that we cover. So it's going to be fun, and good luck this year.
Thanks. I'm pretty excited to be back at Outlaw, and I feel comfortable there. That's like home. So I can't wait. Thank you very much.
Well, it's going to be a good time. Frank Guererri getting ready to tackle the Crate Late Model in 2016.
Well, there you have it. Our final interview of the night with Frank Guererri Jr. Looking forward to having him at Outlaw on Friday nights. And Clint, before we get out of here tonight, we got to hit a topic on something that all of us were discussing over the weekend, and that is the tragedy, the travesty that is the new apparent rule with the World of Outlaws, where, if you take a provisional, you can't improve your points position.
Yeah, that's terrible. I mean, the provisional was designed, to help a guy out that he's had a rough night, get him in the field, and by not rewarding him, why even Donnie Scott's a perfect example last week. Why even bother to go out and wreck your equipment if you can't make up any points on anybody if you run well?
And that's exactly what happened. Is Donnie Schatz chooses not to take the provisional, puts it on the trailer, and the 8-time and defending champion was not in the A main this past weekend. And Brad, I'm pretty sure I'll know where you're coming from, but buy or sell that.
I gotta sell that. That's terrible. If I was World Racing Group, I'd be looking at myself in the mirror going, what the heck did we just do? We just took our most dominant, I would say one of our top 5, top 3 guys that the fans come out to watch and race, and maybe Donnie Schatz may even be one of those guys that everybody comes out to cheer against because they don't want to see him win again. But nonetheless, he's bringing people to the stands. So to see him go on the trailer like that's insane.
Yeah, and we have reached out from Race Chaser Online to the World of Outlaws, trying to find out when this change was put in. I guess it sounds like it was put in recently or this year even, and so we're trying to get some comment from the World of Outlaws about that. We have not gotten any contact back from them yet regarding that because again, this is your top driver on the series who has no, when you look at the situation, you got no motivation to come out and compete. And when you have that kind of situation, I think from the fan standpoint, the media standpoint, it's like, this is your champion. This is the guy that is flying the banner for your series, and he's not out on the track. And I think that's kind of where we're coming from here as we get ready to wrap up tonight.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not going to have a provisional, don't have a provisional. But don't offer a provisional, but it's not going to help you out in any way. You know, NHRA hasn't had provisionals. If you're not the Fast 16, you don't make the show, and it doesn't matter who you are. But if you're going to offer provisionals, then if the guy starts last in the field and runs up to 6th place in a Roll of Outlaw vehicle, then he should be rewarded for 6th or 7th place in points.
Yeah, no doubt. Guys, a couple weeks ago, we talked in the off-season about Casey Kane Racing. They came out and won. After that, we talked about Shane Stewart. He came back and won. So this week we're going to call out Donnie Schatz after putting it on the trailer and not
David Gravel. Don't forget David Gravel.
And David Gravel, too. He got a win here this last weekend. So thanks to all of our guests tonight. We'll be back next Tuesday for our Woodhull Arnott Mall Car Show episode. If you're out at the Arnott Mall Saturday afternoon, we'll be there. Stop by for an interview on Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network.
Turn 5 Live is a copyrighted production of the Performance Motorsports Network. PerformanceMotorsportsNetwork.com is a member of the Scorpion Radio Group Incorporated and may not be rebroadcast, replicated, or saved in any media without the explicit written permission of PMN. The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host, co-host, and guest, and do not necessarily reflect those of the management and ownership of either the Performance Motorsports Network or Scorpion Radio Group Incorporated, the advertisers, or marketing partners. Thank you for listening to Turn 5 Live. You can listen to Turn 5 Live every Tuesday night right here on the Performance Motorsports Network. Stay tuned for more great PMN programming.
Searching for